I want to know what happened to DoorDash, because somehow DoorDash quickly became call you when I'm in the lobby dash. Hey, come outside and pick it up dash. I wanted it at my door. That's why I DoorDashed it. I might be in the shower. I can't come downstairs to the lobby in my pajamas. That was the whole point of getting it to my door.
That's a woman on TikTok. It's gone viral. That's complaining about DoorDash. That she lives in a big apartment building. She wants it delivered to her door. I'm Jeff. It's Westside Jeff, and for Chris Krok. Chris is back on Monday. Joining me in studio is a buddy of mine from Ohio. He's down here visiting for the weekend. I said, "Come on in the studio. Let's talk." My buddy Rick. Rick, you know this story very intimately. Share the rest of it.
Well, I'm surprised you disagreed with me. If you want to be lazy and you're willing to spend your hard-earned money to be lazy, well, you should get what you're paying for. And I know for a fact that we had somebody contact DoorDash to ask them about their policy, and they said if the person specifies when they make the order that they want the food brought to their door, unless there is something in an apartment building that prevents them from doing that, security or whatever, unless there is that, they have to bring it to the door. All right. And, I know maybe some people won't if they don't get the tip they think they deserve or whatever. And again, if you're using these services, you really do need a tip. But I think she had a valid point, and I think, if she's paying for that and she wants that, the food needs to be brought to her door. I
have no problem leaving that food in the lobby or downstairs and letting her come get it, just like any other. You think Amazon goes up to the top floor?
I'm not paying Amazon specifically for this one order, and I'm not paying Amazon a tip either.
You think the mailman goes upstairs like that?
Again, not paying for that.
What other delivery drivers go upstairs to the door and knock on the door?
I don't know, but that's their policy. It's called DoorDash.
That's what she says. That's her take on it. We have a lot of delivery drivers that listen. A lot of folks driving out and about it on a Friday night at this time, listening to us. If you deliver food at all, or if you have delivered food, pizzas or DoorDash or Uber Eats, it doesn't matter what company. What are your thoughts on this? Do you agree or disagree? I say I have no problem with going into an apartment building, and if it's a 6, 8, 10, what about a big building in downtown Dallas that I don't know which ones are residential, and do you expect me to go up the elevator to the 30th floor and hunt down your place and leave it at your door?
Well, that's my address, so that's what I'm paying you for, is to bring it to my address.
So you say, shut up and deliver it to my door. I say no.
That's the job you signed up for.
How do you feel about this? It's easy as a homeowner. It's pretty easy. You got one door. But an apartment building or a condominium complex, a big multi-unit facility, should the delivery driver, go in, take the time, go up the steps or up the elevator, walk around multiple areas to find the specific door, knock on the door, and leave it right outside the door?
Is it really that hard?
In some buildings it is, especially in big cities. Absolutely.
Well, then I would hope you would leave a little extra on the tip. If you're causing them to go to extra work, I would hope you're leaving it. Obviously, it's not required to leave any more than any other normal tip. And that's where they make their money. You got to tip these guys. They're working their butts off. But this guy wasn't. And I think, he needs to take it to the door. I think it's amazing the amount of money people will spend to have food delivered, like day in and day out. I know people who have food delivered to them every day, and I'm like, how much money do you spend just paying for deliveries?
Well, I can tell you one of my other beefs is, I used to live up in Ohio where you do, and I used to do talk radio there. I remember being on the radio up there during a snowstorm, 8 inches of snow. And I don't think I've ever told you the story. 8 inches of snow, and a guy ordered food, and on the east side of town, and it was like a Chinese place. Mm-hmm. Well, the lady called in while I'm on the air, 8 inches of snow on the ground. She said, I got a call a couple hours ago. The guy ordered X, Y, and Z. I had 45-minute drive to his place because of 8 inches of snow on the ground. The bill was $39.95. He handed me two $20 bills, $40, and said, keep the change. He made her drive 45 minutes to his house to deliver food and gave her a nickel tip. I said, you got to be kidding me. What'd you do? She said, I turned to him and said, sir, thank you for ordering food from our restaurant. We hope that when the weather's better, you come into our restaurant and enjoy our food, and that you enjoy this food tonight. You clearly need that 5 cents more than I do. So enjoy it. Have a great night, and thanks for dining with us.
Oh, that's brilliant.
I loved it. I loved it.
I don't know how well it got across to him.
Yeah, who knows? 800-288-9227, 800-288-WBAP. How do you feel? Should a delivery driver of food, take the time, go up into a multi-unit building to the exact door of the person who ordered the food and deliver it there? What's your thought? Greg, you're from the Colony. Thank you for listening, and thank you for calling. What's your thought on this DoorDash story?
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call. I'm a DoorDasher. I'm currently dashing right now. I put myself on pause so that way I can call in. But 98% of our orders are all leave it at the door, and that means if it's a house, you leave it at the door. Some people will have a chair out there, a little table. Apartments, we have to leave it at the door if they say leave it at the door. Now, there's a few nice places, kind of like over in Plano. I think one's called the 12, and it's up by the Star. And basically, you just leave it at the lobby for the doorman, and he will call the resident, and he'll take it up there. But, there's, like barely even 1% of any of the orders that you can just leave in the lobby unless it's during lunchtime, and they tell you leave in lobby on silver food cart and I'll pick up later. But other than that, these guys are just being lazy.
Well, hey, Greg, let me ask you something while we've got you on the phone. How are people when it comes to tipping? I mean, obviously, I know some people just are not very generous, or some people can be jerks about it. But in general, do most people leave a proper tip for you?
Probably about 50 to maybe 60% leave a proper tip. What DoorDash teaches us or tells us, because we're independent contractors, we don't actually... we're not DoorDash, but,
right.
So they say you should get at least $1 minimum for every mile you go. So if you're if you order from Chili's and you're 3 miles from that Chili's roughly, I should get minimum, probably about a $5, let's say $5.50 on the offer. So the offer comes up. I don't ever get to see it beforehand. I don't get any alerts saying, oh, hey, go to Chili's. There's orders that are going to start popping here shortly. All of a sudden, the order comes in, and it says Chili's, and it says $5.50, drive is 2.8 miles. And I can either accept it or I can decline it. If this is a permanent job for me, which it has been for a little while, I'm going to take that because, well, that's $5.50 more than what I had.
Right.
I've had other offers where it'll say 4 miles for $10, and it'll say plus tip. Or plus something, and then basically I'll get there, and this was the other night, and I delivered under 4 miles, and I got a $20 tip. So it was just out of the blue. I didn't even know. But again, most of the money for the dashes are anywhere from $2, which is something like at McDonald's, and that when you see $2 come across your screen on your phone there, you know that no one's tipping on that, and basically, people start declining it, and it starts bouncing around to driver to driver to driver, and then finally someone says, okay, yeah, I'll take it.
Oh, man. All right. Hey.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for the call, Greg. Thank you so much.
Most of the monies are from $2 to, say, $10 on average. But,
Greg, thanks for calling. I appreciate you being part of the show. Interesting there. So question for the audience here is, how should a delivery driver of food items, DoorDash, Uber Eats, should they deliver it to a multi-unit building to the door, even if it means going up the stairs, 3, 4, 5, 8 sets of stairs, or elevator?
I think Greg answered it for you, Jeff.
Well, I still say I'd leave it in the lobby. You want it, you come get it. I'm delivering it to the building. That's my attitude. You got an opinion on this? Weigh in 800-288-9227. We'll continue this conversation about DoorDash coming up in 4 minutes. That's Rick. I'm Westside Jeff sitting in for Chris Krok on News Talk 820 WBAP and now on FM at 93.3.
I want to know what happened to DoorDash, because somehow DoorDash quickly became call you when I'm in the lobby dash. Hey, come outside and pick it up dash. I wanted it at my door. That's why I door dashed it. I might be in the shower. I can't come downstairs to the lobby in my pajamas. That was the whole point of getting it to my door.
That's why I door dashed it.
I'm okay with I'm okay with that. Call it when I'm in the lobby dash. I'm Westside Jeff, and that's Rick, my buddy from Ohio. He's down here in Texas for the weekend. I said, come on in, let's talk on the radio. And we talked about a couple of things. This is one of those. It's a woman on TikTok that is recorded a video and put it out there complaining about DoorDash because of delivery people. She lives, what's the story here, Rick? She lives in a big apartment building?
It's an apartment building. She's on the 6th floor, but, people who come in and make deliveries are allowed to go up the elevator and deliver food to the door, and her DoorDash delivery driver's not been doing that. He's been leaving it in the lobby and just leaving her a message said, yeah, your food's in the lobby. She's up there in her pajamas. She paid you to bring the food to her door.
I say leave it in the lobby. Honey, come down and get it. I'm okay with that. That's my opinion.
Well, we had Greg call, who was a DoorDash driver, and he said if they specify, he confirmed what we said earlier, you have to take it to the door.
Does UPS take it to the door?
I'm not paying UPS to bring me my food to my door.
Does FedEx? Does Amazon?
If it was called To the Door Amazon, they should, darn it.
How you feel about this? 800-288-9227. Should delivery driver, a DoorDash guy, take the extra time in a big apartment building or a condo and go up in the tower and track down the specific door and leave it right at the door? What about if it's a hotel, a big hotel? The Anatole, downtown Dallas. You really want the guy to be walking around the damn hotel?
I've been in hotels where I ordered food, like a pizza guy, and he brought it to my room. That's how I did that 20 years ago.
Do you expect it?
Well, kind of, yeah. I mean, unless the hotel has a policy that they don't allow it, that I would understand.
800-288-9227 is the phone number. That's Rick. I'm Westside Jeff. Let's talk to Michael from Dallas. Michael, thanks for calling. What's your thought on the DoorDash perspective and delivery to the door?
With the DoorDash stuff, I mean, I've experienced a little bit with Uber Eats. I've dabbled into it. My off time, I deliver for UPS currently. To give an example, I've had apartment complexes in the Dallas Metroplex, which are in the older areas, that had no elevators, and they're 5-story, buildings with a parking garage. I walk it all out. That's what we're paid to do. But then again, we get paid hourly compared to Uber drivers, Uber Eats, DoorDash, all that. I mean, they get paid per stop. So, I mean, it gets a little controversial. From the Uber Eats side that I've done, I can tell you I deny every delivery that comes into place because people can take their tips away the moment you deliver it to their door. So you can be enticed by, say it's a $8 fare plus $3 tip, so you think you're going to get $11. You deliver the food, an hour goes by, they can take their tip completely off the table. So I've learned my lesson. On the Uber side of things, I don't do the deliveries from a UPS perspective. Like I said, we get paid to do that. It's part of our policy. If it's 8 stories and it's nothing but stairs, I'll take your treadmill all the way up there.
Wow.
Do you get tipped for that, Michael?
No. There are some people who, especially during the holidays, Christmas holidays, will try to throw you some extra money, but the way I see it, man, we get paid to bring you a service, and we get paid well. So I don't see what the problem is, man. That's part of my job. So with the Uber Eats and the DoorDash and all that, I mean, you signed up for it. That's part of the job. You got to do it. I mean, if you don't want to do it, don't Uber Eats, don't DoorDash. Don't be that type of driver.
Michael, as a UPS driver, let me ask you, do people that you deliver your packages to them at their door, do they expect that in those high-rise buildings? Do you get a sense they expect that?
Yes and no. Apartments, those people, I mean, it's a hit or miss. So, I mean, the most distinctive memory I can think of that pretty much scarred me forever, it was a 4th-story apartment, nothing but stairs. parking garage, no elevators, and they ordered a whole workout bench set. I'm talking about the bar, the bench, the weights, everything.
Heavy.
I took it.
Wow.
I took it all up there. I took everything up there. It took me, a couple trips up and down the stairs, but by the time I got up there, left everything in there, made it back down to the truck. The guy pulled up, parked his car, and, hey, man, you have my workout set? Yeah, I took it all upstairs. Oh, man, I wish I would have left you a note. I need it down here in the garage. No, I can't. I can't do that. Once I stop completed saying that I've done my part, I'm not allowed to touch the boxes again. Liability, and if something were to be broken or missing, it's no longer on me. And, I mean, that caused a whole argument between me and that guy. But, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I went above and beyond to take an entire workout bench set up to your room. That's where I would assume you were going to take it.
Michaels, thank you for calling. I appreciate the call. Thanks for being part of the show. Let's go to, is it Zogo? Zogo, am I saying that right, Zogo?
Yeah, I'm Zogo.
Go, Zogo. What do you got?
Hey, how you guys doing?
Great. Thanks for calling. What's your thought on this topic?
Well, I own a pizza place. I'm not going to tell you what pizza place I own, but I believe my thing is when a person orders thing, if they should get their delivery exactly where they order it, right? Do you want it in a hotel room? This is it. Where are you going to get it? Or anywhere? I mean. That's a nonsense. Oh, I'm going to leave it here, leave it there, leave it there. Hey, my delivery is coming where I order it. There is no other way. I mean. So you say, Zogo, deliver to the door, even if you have to go up several flights of steps and track down the door. No, but you have to because that's unless let's say it's a hotel. Unless person told you, hey, I'll be in a lobby. What's the point? I mean, what's the point? The big hotel, you have to go to the room.
Zogo, thanks for being a part of the show. I appreciate you calling. Thank you very much. I see Charles and Lisa online. We'll get to you in just a matter of minutes. Again, we're talking about DoorDash and a lady that says it's not it's somehow DoorDash quickly became the call when you're in the lobby dash, or hey, come outside and pick it up dash. I wanted it at my door. That's why I DoorDashed it. And the question is, do you expect that? If I get a house, I get a townhome, but if you go into a building like the Los Anatole or some other big facility around the area,
hey, they deserve the same service that somebody in a house is getting.
800-288-9227 is the number. That's Rick. I'm Westside Jeff, and for Chris Krok, we're on News Talk 820 WBAP.
I want to know what happened to DoorDash, because somehow DoorDash quickly became call you when I'm in the lobby dash. Hey, come outside and pick it up dash. I wanted it at my door. That's why I DoorDashed it. I might be in the shower. I can't come downstairs to the lobby in my pajamas. That was the whole point of getting it to my door.
When don't get in the damn pajamas. If you're ordering DoorDash, then wait for it to come. It's unbelievable.
She's paying for it.
We're making a lazy society. She's lazy.
So she's
We're
paying
rewarding
to be lazy.
laziness.
No, you're not rewarding laziness. She's paying to be lazy.
Kiss the ring. Bring it to me.
Yeah,
I'm the king.
You're a service called DoorDash. That's what you do.
It's good to be. You know how many other services let you down?
You were going to say it. It's good to be the king.
It's good to be the king.
Love that movie.
I'm Westside Jeff, and for Chris Krok, Chris is back next week. That's my buddy Rick. He's in town from Ohio, and I said, come on down to the studio. Let's talk on the radio. He does radio up in Ohio, and we're talking about that audio that was on a girl on TikTok. Why don't you set it up on where it comes from, Rick? Well,
she's in an apartment building, 6th floor. She wants her DoorDash delivery guy to bring her food to her door. That's why she said it's not call me when I'm in the lobby dash. It's DoorDash, and she's paying for it, and she specifies she wants it brought to her door.
And you think they should deliver to the door?
Yeah, that's their policy. If they specify that, again, unless it's a place where you can't get it in, you know.
We talked earlier to a guy named Greg that DoorDashers, and he said 98% of the orders get delivered to the door. And he said he's actually delivered, I think he said to the 12 up in Plano. And it's a big building, and it's one of those like what we're talking about. It's a multi-unit facility.
I personally, for me, I can't understand it. I mean, I know people who spend so much, and I won't. I always go pick it up.
I'm with you. I agree with you.
I don't understand, especially today with the cost of everything today, to spend that kind of money like day in and day out on these deliveries. I mean, let me tell you real quick, and then we'll get to this last caller. But just to tell you what kind of shape we're in right now. Delta Dental has put out an annual tooth fairy poll every year for 26 years. Okay. And in the last 26 years, the cost that parents give their kid for a tooth has gone from $1.30 up to $6.23 last year. This year, it just came out for the first time ever. It went down. It went down to $5.84 for the first. That's how bad things have gotten, Jeff. The tooth fairy
is leaving less money
for the first time in history.
Leaving less money.
That's how bad it is.
I'm not going to pull my tooth tonight. I was going to say, if you're going to go up to $10, I was going to take my headphones off, run out to the bathroom, pull a tooth, and say, hey, Mrs. Westside, get the $10 bill ready. Let's go.
That's a legit story.
That's Rick.
The average has gone down for the first time ever.
Tooth fairy. What's the world coming to when the tooth fairy leaves less money? I'm Westside Jeff. That's Rick. We're talking about DoorDash and delivering to your door, not Lisa from Fort Worth. You've been listening a little bit about this. What's your thoughts on the DoorDash story?
Well, I agree with the TikToker wholeheartedly. If you're paying for delivery, it should be delivered to your address.
You're all alone, Jeff.
Nobody will side with me here, Lisa. We're making a lazy society. So do you deliver, or have you delivered before, Lisa?
I actually, during the pandemic, worked for Instacart, and I always delivered everything, no matter how many cases of water, how many grocery bags, to the front door, unless there was a note because people had health concerns to leave it maybe at the driveway or what have you. But I always delivered. That is the whole point of getting it done.
Right.
Wow.
I mean, the lazy part is expecting it not to be delivered to your door and giving them a break on saying, oh, delivering it here or there is fine. Like, that's the wrong way to think about it. That's just, I'm in my 50s and I have a work ethic, and I don't take jobs like that without realizing that I may have to take apartments. But they also have a choice when they accept these jobs, whether they want to take them as they come in through the app. So if you're going to take an apartment, then deliver it to the door. If you don't want to walk up the stairs or whatever, then don't take it. But if you're going to take it, you should do the job completely. As agreed, the whole point, like I said earlier, I had knee surgery. I wasn't able to go down to pick it up from the lobby. There's moms that have babies that are asleep that can't leave their apartment to go pick it up from the lobby or what have you. There's elderly. There's a plethora of reasons. But the reason why people are doing this is because they need to do it. It's expensive, but you have to think of what the job is. And the job is to deliver it to the door.
Lisa, thank you for calling and weighing in. I got to tell you, Rick, if I were thank God I don't deliver on the side, because I wouldn't. I'd walk into a building, leave it downstairs.
Well,
I'd be call me in the door, call me in the lobby DoorDash guy.
I think Lisa pointed out, Jeff, your problem is you don't have a good work ethic, man, and you want moms to leave babies in their apartments by themselves because you don't have a work ethic. Who's the lazy one here?
We're making people lazy. We're rewarding people for being lazy. Listen,
I don't think you're rewarding them when they're paying.
If I've got a lot of deliveries, you're going to tie me up, going up and trying to find your place.
Man. That's your job.
I can't believe I'm on an island here. There ain't nobody agreeing with me on this. I say if it's a multi-unit facility, if it's a big building, and you're going to tell me I have to deliver to door on a 10th or 12th or 15th floor.
If the building will allow you, if the facility, their policy, if they will allow you to do it, then yeah, that's your job.
I'd log on to my DoorDash app and say, building wouldn't let me do it. Come down to the lobby and get it.
You're the lazy one. You are the lazy one.
800-288-9227. 800-288-WBAP.
I just wanted to say thank you for having me on. This has been a blast.
No problem. I know you got to get home and get some sleep sometime tonight. I keep getting messages. Duncan, my buddy Duncan, he's listening up in Chicago. Say, hey, Jeff, I've enjoyed listening this week. Great subjects and conversations. I agree with you tonight. And he said, tough to deliver to a door in a high-rise. Just getting in the building adds time. Thank you, Duncan.
There you go. Now, look, you got one.
My buddy Duncan up in Chicago. Thank you, Duncan, for doing that. So you're in town this over the weekend. Are you going over to the complex to see Jerry and Steven? You're an avid Cowboys fan.
Yeah, I've done the tour. I mean, unless Jerry's going to hang out, probably not. I've done the tour and taken pictures with everything in that controsity.
Where do you have the Cowboys finishing this coming year?
Oh, I don't know. Right now, I'm just worried about what kind of contract they're going to give Dak Prescott.
Are they going to keep him?
Well, I think you have to. Why would? I mean, you have somebody better that we can.
They got to redo his contract.
Well, that happens with players. That's part of the business. I mean, the salary cap is going up a lot over the next couple years.
He's certainly a top 32 quarterback.
You're a funny guy, Jeff.
He is.
Well, I think, he came in second in MVP voting, and even though he had better numbers than Lamar, and I think Lamar's an amazing athlete. I think he deserved it. But Dak had a pretty amazing year this year.
So my question for you is, if the Cowboys are that good, why haven't they been to the Super Bowl? When's the last time they went?
Because only one team out of 32 can win.
How many years?
It was 1995.
How many years ago was that?
When's the last time the Browns went? When's the last time the Lions went?
Well, I grew up a Browns fan, but we're not talking about a quality NFL franchise here.
I don't. I just don't understand. I don't understand the crap that Dak gets, and I hear people talk about how amazing Josh Allen is and how amazing this guy.
Josh Allen is a guy that can win a game.
Okay, well, how come he keeps losing at home in the playoffs every year then?
He can win a game.
Oh, he can win
exhibited.
a game. Dak Prescott can win a game. He wins 12 every year. You can't. No, don't. Come on.
I can't play from behind.
I cannot. One thing I can't stand is hypocrisy, and that's what I don't get. People rag on. It's just about being the Cowboys quarterback. That's what it is. Yeah. That's why he gets so much crap. I watch all these other quarterbacks. They rave about these guys. I mean, heard all about it and with the Chargers. Oh, he was going to be amazing this year. I'm sorry. Only one team can win the Super Bowl out of 32, and. It takes a little bit of luck. Josh Allen may never win a ring. He might not. Odds are he won't. The odds are stacked against him at this point.
You think the Cowboys get back to the show and win a Super Bowl before Jerry's gone?
I don't know. It takes some luck. You need, one of the big things is health. You got your players got to stay healthy. I mean, what would we have? 70 different quarterbacks took snaps at starter this season out of 32 teams.
In the NFL.
70 quarterbacks took snaps. It's hard to stay healthy in the NFL, but you have to do it.
Yeah. That's Rick. I'm Westside Jeff sitting in for Chris Krok. Chris is back next week. We're talking about DoorDash and deliveries. Do you deliver to the door or not? We also talked earlier about conspiracy theories and the lunar moon landing yesterday that is on its side.
We had a lot of people call in, and I definitely am convinced we did land on the moon. I won't believe the conspiracy anymore.
I agree with you. I said it all along. If you want to weigh in, 800-288-9227, 800-288-WBAP. Also hit me up at Westside Jeff on social media.
Thanks again. Love you, Dallas. Dem boys.
Attaboy, you're going home to bed, and I'm going to continue the show. I'm Westside Jeff, and for Chris Krok on News Talk 820 WBAP, and now on FM at 93.3.
I want to know what happened to DoorDash, because somehow DoorDash quickly became call you when I'm in the lobby dash. Hey, come outside and pick it up dash. I wanted it at my door. That's why I DoorDashed it. I might be in the shower. I can't come downstairs to the lobby in my pajamas. That was the whole point of getting it to my door.
That was a woman on TikTok that was complaining about DoorDash. She lives in a multi-unit apartment building that has multiple stories. She lives on the 6th floor, and over time she has just gotten tired of ordering food through DoorDash and having them come in the building on the 1st floor and leave the food there and make her come down 6 floors to get it and pick it up. I don't have a problem with that. I say that's okay. If you're a Dasher and you a DoorDasher or Uber Eats person, I'd love to hear from you at 800-288-9227. is that acceptable? Is it okay when you deliver to a multi-unit building? I think about Dallas right here in downtown, the Los Anatole Hotel. I've been there many times for some conventions and some business meetings. We certainly have a lot of folks in and out of town who stay at the hotel. And if somebody stays there and wants to DoorDash something instead of order from the Lowe's, is it okay for a DoorDasher to bring it and say, meet me in the lobby? And what she's saying is, no, bring it up to my door. There's a side of me also that quite honestly, I have two daughters, Danielle, who's 26. She's married and lives up in Ohio, which is where I was born and raised. And then Sydney, who's 23, and she DoorDashes all the time. And she lives up in Knoxville. And there's a side of me that says, as a young woman like that, I wouldn't want strangers coming to my door. Quite honestly, I would meet them in the lobby. And that's a gender thing more than it is anything else. The concept of a woman having anybody bringing stuff to the door so they know where you live, what apartment, exactly where you live, I just would protect myself and not have that happen. So I'd love to hear from you on your take and her thoughts on what she says there, that DoorDash, in her mind, it's somehow DoorDash has quickly become the call you when I'm in the lobby dash, or the hey, come outside and pick it up dash, or come down to the lobby and pick it up dash. She wants it delivered directly to her door. Now, I get it in a home. I get it in a townhome. But when you go to an apartment community, an apartment building, let's call it a 10 or 12-story building. We had a caller, Greg, earlier that said he thinks it's called the 12 in Plano he's delivered things to. The amount of time it's going to take him to go in, jump on the elevator, go up, hit the right floor, especially if it's a place that has a lot of floors on it, find the exact unit, and deliver it there. I'm okay if you don't do it that way. My buddy Rick, who just walked out of the studio, says no. It's called DoorDash, and it's about delivery and bring it to me. That's the service, and I understand his thought. If you want to do it, so be it. But she just sounds a little whiny to me. Like, you know what? Kiss the ring. I'm the queen. Bring it to me. That's what I want. You got an opinion? 800-288-9227. 800-288-WBAP. Another story I saw that occurred last night here in Dallas is Kevin Durant. If you haven't seen this story, Kevin Durant was confronted yesterday by hecklers ahead of the Mavs Suns games. The fans were shouting obscenities at Durant during warm-up. So the Suns were on the court at pregame. And as fans in sports are these days, it was a woman and a guy. They fans seem to feel emboldened these days when interacting with athletes. So it was a couple fans that were wearing Mavericks gear yelled insults at Kevin Durant as the Phoenix Suns had come out for warm-ups. This occurred last night here at the American Airlines Center. And the video interaction that's made its way across X, formerly known as Twitter, showing a female fan calling Durant a biatch, in essence. He turned around and began talking with the two fans, and the other fan being a male. And after the conversation, American Airlines security folks began trying to kick the fans out of the arena. But Durant had a thought on that. I'll tell you what it was in 60 seconds. But my thought is this, that if you're going to pay money for a ticket to go to a basketball game or a football game or a professional sport, and if you're going to be an idiot and you're going to put yourself in a position where you are name-calling the opposing players to antagonize them, I say security kicks them out. I have no problem with that. But Kevin Durant, you know what? I fell in love with Kevin Durant for this one. I become a fan. Durant went up to the security folks, and who were trying to kick them out, and said no. He stuck up for them, and he returned to talk to them and said he wanted them to stay for the game. So these fans are heckling Durant, calling him names. It wasn't racist names. That one I'd kick him out for, but it was just antagonizing him. So as Kevin Durant came out on the floor for the pregame warm-ups, a Mavs fan hollered, called him a biatch. Durant turned around, engaged in an extended conversation with the fans, which eventually led to the American Airlines Center folks coming over to talk to him and was going to kick him out. But Durant spoke directly with the Arizona Republic reporter after the game because they asked him what transpired and how that went. Again, Kevin Durant won a fan with me. Durant said there are better ways to talk to people than what they did. There are better ways to try to get attention, especially of a professional athlete. And there's better ways to indulge in a conversation with somebody besides trying to get a reaction out of them by calling them a bad name like that. He said, I could have easily gotten them kicked out of the arena prior to the game starting and could potentially maybe ban them for a few weeks. But I love what Durant said. He said, I went over and I'd rather have them stay. I specifically spoke up to security and said, nope, let them stay because I'd rather have them watch me play. Kudos to you, Kevin Durant, for doing that. See, this isn't the first time there's been a negative interaction between fans and players when the Mavericks and Suns play each other. It's happened a couple times. Back in January, Luka asked security to remove a Suns fan after he felt the heckling went on far too long and went too far. So we're seeing more of that in professional sports, that fans feel emboldened. And I have a real problem with that. I have a real problem with fans doing what they are and doing that. And I think they're crossing the line. And I hate seeing that happen. And kudos to Kevin Durant for speaking up and saying, no, they paid for the tickets. Let them stay. I want them to watch me play. That's what Kevin Durant said. I'm a fan.